Good. Then I let you ask the questions.
Do you want to go straight into questions, or do you want to?
Yes. I think the questions are like they're so good and so important that before explaining anything of V3, I think everyone needs to get on the next level, because I have the feeling that actually no one, and from all the questions, I have the feeling that no one did really understand what a quantum leap, the difference between DEUS V1 and DEUS V3 is. Okay. I didn't want to call it V1, V3, but yes, the big quantum leap comes now with the order matching system. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to pick some out that I think probably follows a good line of questioning to segue into different areas. All right, so I'll just read some out and you can have at it. Is that good?
Yes, please.
All right, so talking about Tolbith Willie's question, he was speaking about DEUS V1 and how that idea around V1 gave investors all this confidence, and speaking about how that attributed to reaching, the all-time high that we had.
Can you post the question into the cafe chat?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, that's cool. Yeah, great. But I think I already, I remember the question.
Yeah, and then he was asking, what convinced you that V2 was the route to go, or V2 through to GEN2? And
it was the moment. Yeah. Yes, it was the moment when we needed to migrate the Coinbase IOUs to the Coinbase to the real Dcoin stock. That was the moment when I realized, okay, everyone in here is biased, you will not. I asked 20 whales. I asked all around. I asked 40 people. What should we do? Back then, we didn't have the governance snapshot page up yet. But even if we would have the governance snapshot page up yet, the people voting would be the people losing. So in that moment, I realized that you will never, ever have a fair system where you have a monolithic liquidity pool that is controlled by one governance. What you need is several isolated liquidity pools that have their own governance, and then you have a free market. Everyone can pick that market maker he likes the most because he didn't steal from him, basically. And then I was reading about synthetics having the same issues. I know in mirror finance, it makes 0 sense. The whole concept of mirror finance makes 0 sense. But it's also a concept based on isolated liquidity, but you can only short, and that's kind of a problem. So me and Max, I hope he's here, because almost all the credit goes to us both talking about all of this for a long time. And he actually had the same dream to make a derivatives platform for synthetics. But having that monolithic liquidity pool from the first moment, he immediately told me that in the long run, it's not sustainable. You can see it in synthetics, and we will see it also in mirror finance. When the token that is backing all of it goes down, the whole system goes down with it. They will probably find a way to sustain it with their billions in liquidity. But in the long run, and I'm talking here of 1,000 years, 10,000 years, it will not work. So we thought of a system that in 10,000 years will still work. In 100,000 years will still work if there is Ethereum and humans. So we made a system that is completely sustainable without any token or anything or any, we don't need to mint like mint new tokens to incentivize people, because that's what they're doing at Mirror, also what they're doing at Synthetics. So it's not sustainable. And if the token that is minted is also the token that is backing it, you are basically inflating the system with a token that you use to back it, and you inflate the system in order to make it work. It's like it will not work. So we had the idea with vaults, and with vaults it will work. The system will work, but it is not as efficient because we had like over collateralization rates of 700% or on crypto, or even more. The same issues that Mirror and Synthetics are also facing, and basically everyone. But if you have isolated liquidity and in a broker's platform or a Synthetics platform, you actually, and this is now a question to all of you, do you really care if you hold a token that is a spot token, like meaning you can withdraw the actual token to a hardware wallet and can store it under the ground or in a safe? Or do you actually only care about the profit you're making? Because this will also lead us to one of the most asked questions, like how do we get new investors or new traders? And I'm like that, and I'm pretty sure all of you are also like that. I didn't go to an exchange because I liked the exchange or they did good marketing or anything. I went to that exchange because they were selling something that I wanted. So the question how we are getting every trader on the world is by offering everything that exists on the world in terms of trading. I also had an idea to make like for public, for real goods, but yeah, that's very down far the road. So you, in a system like this, and this is the next thing. There was like another question about liquidity. In a system like this, Uniswap works like this, and now you have to think of something. Uniswap V3, okay? Uniswap V3. The smartest people in all of crypto, I think Uniswap, they're the smartest people in all of crypto. What they did, and everyone was like, why didn't you lower the gas fees? It was all about gas fees. Why didn't you lower the gas fees? And everyone was complaining about the gas fees. And those smartest people in all of crypto, they were thinking of how we can optimize liquidity, because this is the real question, because this brings you the liquidity. And if you own all the liquidity, you own the market. So it's a race on liquidity. It's not a race on fees. It's not a race on traders. It's not a race on investors. It's a race on who makes the most efficient system for liquidity. And V3 will be the most efficient system in all of crypto in terms of liquidity, because we are borrowing what banks are doing. You know, banks, if you're trading a stock or at a broker or anything, that stock doesn't need to be physically in the house of the broker. If it would be like that, there would be no apps or there would be no Robinhood. You are buying a stock on Robinhood that they don't even own. They just give you the promise that in one day they will buy the stock from someone else at that price that you bought it. And there is a bank that is borrowing you the liquidity for that moment. And there's like a huge system, and it's called clearinghouse. And in banks and all of the world, and the problem, what happened to Robinhood when they stopped the trading for GameStop, is basically that we have a T+1 clearing system. Meaning, if you buy a stock, the broker has, from law, like this is based on the law, he has 24 hours to get the stock. And we are making a system that will be faster than 24 hours. While you're having zero liquidity. Actually, we are experimenting with, the broker who is taking the trade, he needs to provide 20% in liquidity, 20%. I don't know about you or what you think about this, but in all of crypto, we all have a problem with stationary liquidity. There is billions and trillions lying in contracts just for them to be executed right. And this is a huge problem. And I think the system with the most efficient liquidity mechanism will win. And we are working on that topic. So it's not about how do we get traders, how do we get investors, how do we get anything when marketing, it all doesn't matter. Because what matters is that you have a fast clearing system so that you don't need to have the liquidity in that moment. And this is only possible through Muon. So all of the questions about what about your competitors, there is no competitor because there is no one that knows about Muon yet. There are no competitors. There is no one who is even wildly thinking of a concept like that. Not even one person. Maybe only like me and Max, we're maybe the only persons that were thinking of something like this because we were working on Muon, working on DEUS, working on all those things at the same time. So yeah, I think this was like the answer to the first question, but it was actually the answer to actually all questions, I think. I hope.
Yeah. I mean, we had this question on the liquidity, but
yeah. There was like the question,
what...
and the same question with Day is like, look, all of crypto is working on solutions that are based on stationary liquidity. And we at DEUS, we are only working on solutions that are based on liquidity on demand. That's how banks work. You really think banks are not like, they're not even closely thinking that DeFi or crypto can be any harm to them? Because they see this, how liquidity needs to be in a contract, and they just laugh at this concept. But it doesn't work differently because then it's secure. You cannot have a clearing system. All of those things are not possible based on the Ethereum code. I think they're also not possible on Solana, but maybe a little bit more, but Solana isn't secure. So yeah. Muon makes like if Ethereum like so it's like Muon makes your Ethereum like Solana, you could say. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
What do we actually, the next question, but yeah, I was already going into the explaining V3 because how it's even,
Yeah,
how
continue
is it
if you want.
actually, how is that even possible? Because most people think, okay, you're just a crazy maniac. Yeah. How do you think this is possible? And it all comes down to, in Uniswap, you have an automated market maker, right? Everyone in here, I hope everyone knows how this works. It's just some simple math, but you need the supply in the contract in order to calculate the actual equation. And that's why we have those liquidity that is scattered, because actually everything, and this is like, I didn't understand this, but there is zero innovation in crypto, zero. There is nothing, like there's not a lot of new things. Everything that we are using is based on Uniswap and Curve. So there is not like, and Curve is only a, so everything we like if you are going back in time, 2017, the ICO hype, the only thing that survived, that really survived, that like made a big impact on DeFi, and this is so crazy. We are so early that one idea is like impacting everything. So Uniswap and like automated market makers, that was the big thing of the 2017 ICOs that came from that time. And everything we are using right now is based on that. So that problem with that stationary liquidity is in all of DeFi. And right now you have a problem with, okay, some people are launching on a Uniswap clone on Binance chain. Some are launching on a Uniswap clone on Polygon and there and here and this. And with DEUS, you will be able to participate in every launch. You will be able to buy every token, buy it even at leverage, all it in DEUS, you know, because it doesn't matter on which chain you're on. There is just some other market maker that is filling your trade. And with this, and this is now like, there was a question, there was like this discussion with, I don't know how to pronounce his name. His name is like ZA, and he asked me like, are we just reselling liquidity, or like, are we just reselling the central exchanges stuff? And that is like, that question comes from the clear misunderstanding what V3 actually is, because in V3, DEUS itself is only the clearinghouse. You put in collateral, we are basically the law. We are Wall Street and the SEC. And the contractors or market makers or liquidity providers, or however you want to call them, they are taking the trades. And what they are doing in the back, like what they are actually doing, for example, you want to buy Safe Moon, okay? I don't know any memes, or you want to buy Ohm or whatever spell, and you're on Polygon. It just launched on Binance Chain. You can now just make an order on Polygon to buy spell at that price that it has right now on Binance Chain. And someone else just says, okay, here, I sell it to you. And he maybe buys the real spell, or he already has spell, or he is the founder of spell, or he thinks spell is gonna crash, so he actually has a opposite position in his mind. But all of this doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to the trader. All of you, I'm sure all of you, you don't really care about having the real token. Okay, at some point you are maybe caring about having the right token. But in all of this, you're only mostly interested in the profit and in paying less fees. And with that, people can actually buy stuff on Ethereum that may be launched there on Polygon for almost 0 fees, and someone can buy it on Ethereum. And with someone, I'm talking about scripts running on Muon, because that's how it will work in the end. It will be scripts competing against each other and market makers competing against each other based on their ranking. So if a market maker is always filling you at a bad price, or when you're selling, he's filling. We will have oracles to check that, because there will be 3 parties. There will be the trader, there will be the trader, there will be the market maker, and there will be DEUS. And DEUS is kind of like overwatching the whole system. And DEUS will have neutral oracles to prevent fraud. And also there will be also maybe even third-party oracles that are challenging each other, so it's even more decentralized. And it will be like a completely automized Wall Street. So, and with that system, and if you really think about it, the market maker, the more we trust that market maker, the less liquidity he needs to provide upfront. Because if he is a trusted market maker and a million people already trusted him before, he doesn't even need to provide liquidity or upfront. So he can maximize his liquidity efficiency even more. And that system, if we optimize the efficiency more and more and more, it will get more and more attractive. So you shouldn't ask the question in the chat, like, how are we attracting more investors? The actual question you should ask is, how are we making the system more efficient? And it's all based on free market and Muon and the DEUS technology. Good. I think this is like for V3 is I think it's
I think in one that was the most concise way V3's been explained up to this point. I mean, that's a
I'm
hell of a
actually working
concept.
yes, I'm actually working on a new website design to explain all of this, because I think we need to get all of our users to, if they come to the DEUS website, they need to understand V3. They need to understand everything in a very short amount of time.
Right.
Okay. Now the pre-IDO platform.
Yeah. I was
I think
just gonna say.
there is not a lot to talk about the pre-IDO platform. There is only a few differences to the pre-IPO platform, and like the one major difference is that it's not me or the users creating the. Okay, there can be users creating pre-IDOs, but you need to prove that you have access to that token at some point. And because we don't trust a user just proving that he has access, for users, this will actually only work, for example, for the Muon presale. You will be able to create a pre-IDO token of your presale allocation or your airdrop allocation. And if there is a developer, for example, me, who is working at Muon, he can also mint pre-IDO tokens by basically proving that he's from their project. Then the goal is to partner with launchpads. And the biggest vision of all is to actually make the whole launch of every token on the Muon and DEUS launchpad. Because then every project that is creating a token, they just mint, okay, they say we are having 120 million tokens in the end, so they just mint 120 IOU tokens, and then they give it to the launchpad is selling them to their users, they give it to the presale, and with that you will have a system that is a lot more fraud proof, because investors are getting their tokens on the moment when the website goes live. That is like the idea. So yeah, so the vision is not to make some pre-IDOs that we think they are cool. The vision is to create a platform that launchpads and the whole industry can use to make the launches more smooth. Because right now, I think in all of the IDOs, like launchpads are basically working in a way that you need to have their token and then you participate in the lottery, and they all create very small demand, or like there is sorry, other way around. There's huge demand, but only small amount of tokens that can be sold. So a lot of people are desperately trying to get their hands on a token. And in the end, if it's about a whitelist, it's luck. And also on the launch date, it's basically also luck. So people that find out about a project early can actually not participate, or like they cannot win based on their earliness. So in terms of IDOs, we completely moved away from fair launches. And I'm building that pre-IDO platform based on my own experience, like from launching DEUS, which was a fair launch. All the people that were the earliest were the biggest winners. And Muon, which is launching with a launch pad. And the people that joined early, they never had the chance to get into pre-sale. Or both sides are important, because if you launch with a launch pad, you're getting all their contacts, all the projects, all the exchanges, everything. And if you launch fair, you're getting a core community that they all love the fact that they were early. And with the pre-IDO platform, you can have both. You can have both. You can launch your token as a fair launch immediately, and you can also make the IDO. And at some point, public launch, and then both merges. So yeah, that's the explanation about the pre-IDO. And it's already, like yesterday I did the first test transaction to buy and sell. And now we're working on the factory, so others can deploy their own pre-IPOs. But of course, it will be if it's in connection with Muon Launchpad, it will be permissionless. But if it's like if you're a developer, you actually need to prove in some way or form to the governance. So it will be in connection with a governance. Yeah. And then people will vote. We will maybe also do it in a way that people can create their own IDO by providing some collateral or IPO, so that they just say, oh, I'm launching that Starlink IPO, and here I'm providing, I'm basically like, saying Starlink goes up or down, and here is like a 500,000 collateral, and then you're playing against them, the creator. So you're always playing against the creator of the pre-IDO.
Right. A puzzle was asking in the Telegram if...
Is it going to work getting high liquidity on all different... As I said, it's actually not about getting, it's not about getting high liquidity. It's about changing the world. No, changing how DEXs actually work. How will this liquidity be incentivized? Yeah, we don't need to incentivize the liquidity if the liquidity is so efficient that you're making the most money. The liquidity will come on its own, you know. For those who are curious, can you explain the underlying details of
you
pre-IDO
answered
work?
that one already. But here, this one at the bottom here, Puzzle just asked about the competition.
It's not a new IDO platform. As I said, we're not doing an IDO platform. We're giving IDO platforms and developers the chance to launch their tokens as a future today, you know, and not maybe in 5 years when the bull run is over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a new IDO platform. Okay. I know that the competition is really high. I had I was in calls with 20 IDO platforms for Muon. And it's all about like selling the token, you know. And I mean, IDO platforms. I mean, you're the users, you know. You are creating the market. If you don't like something, then you're the reason why it is like that. IDO platforms, they became very powerful because we gave them that power, and now they're basically like they can select, and it's just SEC all again, you know. They can select who is getting into the pre-sale, and they're having like the allocation, and the allocation is pure gold because they pump it. So yeah, it's a direct competition to fair launches, and it was also the first thing that they told me when I first time came into talks with launchpads. They told me that in a fair launch you will have a time when every whale that was like early will sell, and only some people are left that were not able to sell, and they will complain all the time why the price doesn't go up. And in a launchpad you don't have that, because the early investors, they're kind of like you know them, and they are providing value, and they will like their goal is to get the price up more and more and more. So, and in a fair launch you don't have that, because everything was anonymous and everyone was like, okay, maybe it's a wallet, you know, you don't even know who it is.
We had quite a few questions about you know, the typical regulatory stuff, and a few that touched on security. I don't know if you want to address any of those now.
So
I can paste the question here for you.
Yeah. With the DEUS V3 system, I mean, for DEUS V1 we still can get in trouble, but I think based on the fact that we only did like 10,000 or like 100,000 in volume, we're good. So in V3, regulative stuff is a topic of the market maker. He is selling product. Of course, when we are the biggest marketplace in the world in history, and we're making trillions of volume, and we're like bigger as Amazon and everything combined, maybe the government will have a problem with us or with DEUS providing the service, or we need to be like, same as in Amazon, in Amazon it was exactly like that. They were selling all the stuff, and now they have a lot of like, because like they're only a reseller, and now they have a lot of people selling fraud items. And now the government was like, yeah, you need to take care of that, and you need to make sure that there is no fraud item sold, and something like that can happen. That they say, okay, we need to make sure that our market makers are good persons and whatever, But from a regulatory perspective, because we as DEUS are not providing any service or selling any synthetics directly, DEUS itself is not liable, I would say. And we're basically we decentralize synthetics, because now and in the future, like it would be like the DEUS DAO can comply with any regulations, because if they say only licensed brokers can sell stuff on DEUS, then we can make this regulation happening on Muon, and then it's basically like this: people can still buy from unlicensed brokers, but then it would be them committing the regulatory issues, or unlicensed broker, But we as DEUS, we are only we are only making marketing basically for licensed brokers. Same as Uniswap delisting synthetics. It's a very similar concept, I would say. I don't know if there is some dark Uniswap where you can buy still synthetics in the front end, but yeah, something like this would make sense in the future. So how do we challenge regulations is by decentralizing everything. How do you, because that's how you comply with the SEC laws. They're all about decentralization. It's like the, I don't know, holy grail of fighting the SEC. Decentralization, because that is what they think is what matters. Because it all comes down to a group of people being responsible for the gain of others. And that is exactly the same problem that I realized. I realized if we are making the pre-IPOs, we are the one responsible. And with we, I mean the DEUS holders. And this just doesn't work. Every liquidity provider needs to be responsible for itself. And DEUS is only checking that everything is going smooth. And the Muon token will be, very soon you will be able to participate in a community action, I would say. And we are basically creating something that they call Muon Mass, I think. And the Muon Mass is basically community members that are in organized groups and are working together with the Muon core team to get informations out. And this will be basically the first iteration of the affiliate system that we will later then also use in DEUS, and other projects can also use.
Speaking of that, Leffa,
Yeah.
I know that this
Oh yes.
this probably requires its own, but it
Yeah.
would be nice to drop some.
It requires its own, because like
I think,
me and Max, we were
yeah.
like, yeah, we were always working on, we were like, while we were working on DEUS V3, we were secretly always working on a new idea that you can only do with Muon, because we wanted to understand like what are the things you can only do with Muon and no one else can do, because that will be our leverage, our, if you as an investor in DEUS are like thinking, oh, what about the competitors? They're all better. They're doing better marketing. They don't have access to the Muon technology, and they don't have access to Muon in a way that it is like we are like we're like private, like how you say, if I am telling to the Muon team, hey, we need this, and they're building it, you know, no project in the world has that leverage. No one. I mean, Chainlink is working on something similar to Muon. I'm not sure if they will ever launch it because it's contrary to their like current product. But they also are working on a decentralized Oracle network. That's how they call it. But I'm not sure if they will ever launch it. But we already launched it. We are already working on it. Like it's running. There is already games running on it, and we are basically with DEUS. We're also with not only 1 foot but 20 people inside the Muon team. And if we are basically saying, hey, we need that affiliate system, we need that order matching system, we need this, then they're building it for us highest priority. Other projects, if they need to wait, or maybe they will never get access to that. So yeah. And then we were thinking, okay, how do we actually get what can we build that only Muon can do? And what we thought all of the time is an affiliate system. Right now, if you have a centralized exchange, every centralized exchange has an affiliate system. Every broker has an affiliate system. Amazon has an affiliate. Every project has an affiliate system. But there is no decentralized affiliate system. Like there is no, like, okay, maybe Uniswap is maybe doing an affiliate system, or no, they're not. But maybe ParaSwap isn't doing an affiliate system, or 1inch, and it's built into their front end. I'm not sure if you can list all the projects that have an affiliate system, I would be glad. So, but it's built into their front end, meaning it is only on the front end. So it's actually centralized. They are hosting it. It's on their servers. It's not in the contracts. Maybe there is a connection between the contracts and the front end, but it's all custom built. Every project is building their own. And we will build a solution that every project can just add to their project, and that's it. And then you have the bonus, I would say, that if we have one decentralized affiliate system for the whole world, every project that gets listed on the affiliate system will have immediately all the affiliates thinking, what's that project? Maybe it's good. If it's good, I can share my affiliate link and make some money of that new project. So we're actually building the biggest Schiller army in the history of humankind. I think that this is what we are building. But of course, in the end, you can never tell. But my feeling is that if you like a project and it's good, you tell everyone about it. And most of the incentive is coming from that you're already that they are somehow building a system, that the fees are getting redistributed to token holders and all of this. But with our affiliate system, you don't even have to do this. You can just say, okay, all of the revenue is going to, or 50% of the revenue is going to affiliates, and you already have a lot of new users because every affiliate has now an incentive to be part of your project, even if he's not buying your token. Maybe he doesn't even have money to buy your token. So yeah, chick inspection, everything's are really creative. But what is the time frame for any of those already processing solving the liquidity problem? I don't think that Olympus DAO is solving the liquidity problem because they're working on, like, they didn't build a new Uniswap. The DeFi along with 100 folks come from that. How long will it take? I don't think that timing matters. Not at all. If you're building a system that is better, the timing, like, no one is working on something like that. No one. And if you think someone is working on something like that, then you're not understanding what I just said, and you're also not understanding the other project. Because no one is working on a system where you have only 20% of the liquidity locked in order to take a trade. In Uniswap, you need 200% of the liquidity. Or not, no, Uniswap is only Uniswap is working great when you have 1,000% more liquidity. Or now with the ticks, still they have like 80 million of liquidity, and then you can do a 1 million trade and you still have a lot of slippage. You know what I mean? So if you think that Olympus DAO is solving the liquidity problem, then you don't know. Then you don't know what the liquidity problem actually is. So no, timing does not matter if you're building a system that is a million times better than anything ever built before. Of course, timing matters if you're an investor and you want to make profit. But for us as builders, we want to make it so that it's a better product and it is working a lot better than everyone else. And this is where innovation comes from. You know, you cannot make 100 forks and think you're solving anything. You're solving nothing. Okay, they have a lot of liquidity in their contracts locked. Okay, but this is not solving the actual problem of efficiency. The only person that worked on solving efficiency in market makers is the Uniswap team. And everyone was complaining. No one realized what they did. Everyone was complaining. Yeah, but what about the gas fee? The gas is even, it's more, Uniswap V3 is more expensive than Uniswap V2. But they're working on the right thing. So you should not follow trends. You know, you should not, okay, if you want to if you want to make small money and then lose it all again, yeah, follow trends. Because at one point, the trend is gone. Everyone will just sell Olympus DAO and they will stop staking and boom, it will crash. And you will maybe left holding the token because it's only working with if everyone is staking and locking. So at some point, everyone will unstake and unlock and sell, and then the system collapse. So it's still a cool idea, and I like Olympus DAO. It's really a great product or project, and I was in there from the first moment, but it's not solving the liquidity problem. It's not. They may be solving the liquidity problem for one project. You know what I mean? They're solving the liquidity problem for themselves. But only if everyone is staking. It even became the biggest meme in all of crypto, and no one is understanding it. It became the biggest meme in all of crypto with that free. And it means that if everyone is staking, the system works. But if everyone is selling, the system collapses. And all of those 100 forks will also collapse. Maybe Olympus DAO will survive, okay? Because it's I don't know how you say, cultural thing. But it's all based on game theory that everyone is staking and locking. And if everyone, I was in one fork, there was one Olympus DAO fork that was there from the beginning, and everyone sold and it collapsed. No one staked and it collapsed. So I would not be so sure about them solving the liquidity problem. You should not listen to what people are telling you. You should always check for yourself, what are they actually talking. Everything I just said, you should you should listen to the recording 1 trillion times, and you should fact proof everything I said and make your own research. That's how Warren Buffett is investing. You should not listen to someone, they solved the liquidity problem, and you just believe it. That's not how it works. Trust me. I was once also an investor like that and bought like all projects and thought, okay, they're solving this and they're solving that and they're solving this in 2016, 2017. But in the end, no one solved actually anything. So, and you will not be able to see the forest because there are so many trees that you're looking at. And with 100 forks, I don't know how you even can keep up with all of this. But most of the people don't even understand the whole liquidity problem at all. I'm not giving investment tips here. No financial advice.
Yeah.
I'm just like explaining technology. And one thing you were saying was a good thing, chick inspection, the time frame. So we are working with the pre-IDO platform. We will probably launch in December, and the V3 platform we are going to launch in Q1 2022. That's the goal. Because we have Muon ready, we have everything ready. We just, in order to build a simple minimum viable product that market makers can use, we don't need a lot of things anymore. And this is no financial advice, but my personal feeling is that there will, as long as there is COVID and as long as they're printing new money, there will be still a new bull run or there will be still a bull run on crypto. Yeah, discussions about DEUS partnerships and sex lists. We will announce them when they're ready to be announced. Okay, 1 hour is over.
Yeah.
I see. I will be answering all the questions again in videos, and yeah.
Let's maybe just give it 2 minutes. There's some
If you're
questions coming in.
if you're typing, please type faster.
Yeah.
But did you listen, chick inspection? Did you listen to the part where I talked about us being the only one in crypto having that decentralized Oracle system? That we are like part of the founders, so we can tell them to build our stuff upfront. So yeah, I don't think, when we were in discussions with Chainlink and they wanted to create the Tesla stock for us, they needed 3 months to make Tesla price feed. So I don't think that anyone is working on something similar, because the only other project working on decentralized Oracle is Chainlink, and they only sell finished tech, so they don't work on customized solutions. So yeah, we are winning the race, chick inspection. We already won it because we invested the time and the money to build Muon. Is there still a plan to route the Muon? Yes, of course. We even we're selling Muon futures on DEUS. The bridge is still work in progress. Lafa said 20 chains this year. Yeah, of course, we're working on. I think there's already 5, 6 other chains deployed for a day. So yeah, but we are just deploying the token. You can mint it. We will add it to the front end, but there will be no staking or anything. Only so that other projects can use it.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe just explain that for 1 minute? The chains, the connecting the chains. I think everyone, or some people might assume it means, the whole
So
staking and the front end thing.
For DEUS V3, if you have a system that is working on fractionalized liquidity, you also need, and it's working cross-chain, you also need a cross-chain stablecoin that is also in some way or form fractionalized. So it all comes together, you know. We build DEI for ourselves. We build Muon for ourselves. It's the same way how Linux came into the world, or GitHub, you know. The biggest inventions of all were an inventor building something for himself. So if you think, okay, right now I don't really understand, why do we have the DEI? Why is there this Muon? What is this affiliate system? It's all stuff that we needed to build in order to create what we envision with DEUS V3. And then there will be no competition anymore, because you only need one clearinghouse. You don't need two clearinghouses. You only need one. If you have one clearinghouse that you trust, you never go to another. We basically stole the idea of, or like that's how the Wall Street and banks and clearinghouses and all of the stock trading works. So we borrowed that idea and made it decentralized. At one point, Max was so into that whole regulatory and derivatives thing that he wanted the membership for, I don't know, how is it called? Maybe he can write in the chat, for that derivatives association, and we just wanted to make just take it and make it decentralized. So, and we will have a better system than them. You know, we are not competing with crypto projects. We're actually competing with the real players. That is what we want to beat. You know, we don't want to beat the 101 ohm fork. You know, we want to beat the ones who actually are who created the whole economy. So yeah,
Bullish.
I will be here working on that.
Nice.
Good. Good ending.
Yeah,
I
I
hope you
think.
have it all.
Yeah. So we will obviously release the full video will be available on YouTube, but we will also create.
Small
We'll
videos
create some
with
videos.
me explaining it.
Yeah,
Yes.
explaining these specific questions.
Because I'm explaining in more detail when I'm doing it on my own without many people. Yeah. So we will make every question. We will make its own video, and maybe short videos, so that it's not, so you don't have to listen to a 1 hour thing, or I don't know,
Yeah.
search the timestamps, and yeah. So that is
Yeah.
the goal. So I really like this. So we will be continuing this. So there will be every week or every 2
Every
weeks there will
second
be
week, yeah.
a challenge to ask the best questions. What up, Brewman? One day he will talk in this Hangout, I'm sure. Good. See you all
Awesome.
soon.
Great.
Bye. If you
Thanks,
have
Stefan.
more questions, please ask in the Telegram, and yeah, maybe we make a new pinned message, or use the old pinned message. If you use that pinned message, it will be, yeah, the question will be as a comment, so we can easily find it. Good.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao, mate.
Thanks you all.